Hello and welcome to Roseville American Legion on the Air. I'm your host, Philip Jordan. Today's guests are retired Colonel Michael Luszczak, Vice President, and Melissa Washington, board members of the Placer Veterans Stand Down Incorporated. I want to thank you both for joining us and sharing with our viewers just what the Stand Down event is all about. As we get into it here today, Melissa, I've just met you today, so if you could share a little bit of your background and experience.
Absolutely. So I'm a Navy veteran. I'm also a Marine Corps wife, and I'm the founder and president of Women Veterans Alliance.
Very good. How did you get involved with the Stand Down?
I actually began several years ago as a volunteer and helping out, and then became the service provider chief, and then was asked to sit on the board.
Very good.
Yep.
Very good. Well, welcome. And Colonel,
It's been a while.
same question. How did you get involved, and what is your background?
Well, I'm a retired Army emergency physician. I finished 20 years on active duty, retiring from the active service in 2006. My family and I relocated to the Sacramento area then, and I took a position with Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente has a group called the Kaiser Permanente Veterans Association, and during one of our meetings, one of the other members of that group said, hey Mike, I hear they have a stand down over in Roseville. Why don't you check that out and see if you can help them out? So a few years ago, I became involved as a clinician helping out with the medical clinic. And then a couple of years ago, when we created a dedicated 501c3 for the Placer Veterans Stand Down, I was asked to join the board and did so as the vice president.
Very good. Very good. So that's, in essence, how you got involved with the program, your military career, and then as a physician, and
Absolutely.
just kind of stepped right in. That sounds like both of you just kind of got involved with that. The meaning, I'm sure a lot of people have heard the name or the term stand down, but don't quite know exactly what that means. Can you share what the two words stand down mean?
I believe the term stand down originated with the Vietnam conflict. During Vietnam, units that were engaged in direct combat were periodically rotated to rear areas for rest and reconstitution. So the units would be brought out of the field to a rear area where they could have a few hot meals, get a couple hot showers, take care of things like medical and dental care, get their mail, send mail, maybe see a movie, and that has evolved into now the stand down, the community stand down effort that we see across the nation. Here in the United States now.
Just kind of like an R&R rest.
In theater.
Rest, in theory, yeah. The Placer Stand Down itself as an organization, how did that start?
So the stand down has been held in Roseville since 2011. So this will be our 7th stand down in Roseville, held at the fairgrounds here. And 2 years ago, a separate 501c3 dedicated exclusively to the Veteran Stand Down organization was created. We moved the date of the stand down from the fall, where it really conflicted with other regional stand down events, such as the Sacramento stand down and the Nevada County stand down, to the spring. And last year we had a very successful stand down in Roseville in the spring.
You know, I'm sure the Placer Stand Down is not the only one. There are surrounding areas.
Absolutely. We found that a lot of folks who wanted to help with stand downs found it difficult to support a variety of stand downs, and this permitted them to participate more broadly, and also helped us to extend services for a broader portion of the year. But by and large, these are local community-driven organizations dedicated to providing services to veterans, and in our case, to veterans and their families. Other stand downs regionally include the Nevada County Veteran Stand Down, which is scheduled for September, Sacramento Stand Down, which I believe is also scheduled for September. I know that East Bay does a stand down every other year that is among the largest in the nation. Yuba, I think, does a stand down in August. So there's a variety of regionally different community-based organizations supporting the veterans in their own communities.
Okay. So some of our viewers that may have family or relatives in other areas can certainly check and see if
Absolutely.
when the stand down
Just
for
Google
their
it.
area.
Google stand down,
okay.
and the VA has a list on the website of all the stand downs across the country.
Very good. So who is, we talked about the veterans. Who is the stand down for? Who attends? Who's?
So for our stand down, which makes us a little bit different than other stand downs, most stand downs are specifically for homeless veterans. Ours are open to all veterans, but not just the veterans, it's also open to the families as well, to be able to provide care for the family. So if you're a veteran or a spouse that's in need of some dental care, and we're going to talk about the services, come on over in May and we'll be able to take care of you.
Okay. But like you say, it was originally for homeless
Yes.
veterans, but, it's been extended to that and to include the families, which, stands to reason. If you have veterans and their families and stuff, they would certainly need services as well.
Over at the Placer County, the fairgrounds. But what we highly recommend is for folks to register via our website, our placerveteransstanddown.org, is to register online prior to the event.
Okay, that makes the bookkeeping and everything a lot simpler, and you have the information online.
Absolutely.
already.
So that way, when they come in, we already have the list, and they can get through the check-in process a lot easier and quicker.
Yeah, what are the needs that the veterans stand on? I know you have a big organization, but what specifically is needed there as far as what needs are the veterans looking for?
So the biggest need would be our dental services for veterans. And we also offer other services from healthcare to pet services to legal, bringing the Placer County courts in, DMV, and also the Veterans Treatment Court. So it's pretty much full service wraparound services for our veterans there. And then also in the gymnasium area, we have different veteran service organizations, Social Security Administration's there, CalVet is there, CalFresh is there. Also to any local employers that are hiring, they'll also be there as well. So a lot of really great services.
Okay. Any other services that the veterans can expect there?
Yes, you could bring Fido, your dog, your cat. They could get vaccinations. They can get food there. So we also there, like I said, eyeglasses, just basic health care, clothing, and what I feel we provide a lot of what we call like wraparound services. So if, say you have an issue, a legal issue with Placer County, we're going to have somebody from the court there. We're going to have somebody from the DMV. So a lot of the things that you can get resolved quite quickly there in our legal area. We also bring in the vet center from Citrus Heights or Sacramento comes in. The vet center, Placer County Veteran Service Office. We've got CalFresh there, different veteran service organizations. So there's a lot of different service providers that attend to be able to help our veterans and their families.
Yeah, the one thing you mentioned about the legal part of that is, a lot of veterans, especially the homeless, don't have access to that, but may have outstanding warrants.
Yeah.
I know there's a veterans court.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're out there as well.
And they're out there trying to clear some of this stuff up so that, they're not arrested and just exacerbate the issue and stuff.
Yep.
So it sounds like pretty much all the needs.
Well, absolutely, and the medical, and Dr. Mike brings out his team.
So the VA primary care homeless team comes out, and along with the primary care homeless team, doctor, nurse, social worker, administrators, they have folks who can verify VA eligibility, VA benefits. For folks who haven't enrolled in the VA system, they can initiate that process for them.
Mm-hmm.
We have a number of volunteer physicians and nurses who help take care of family members who may not be VA eligible. And additionally, we've partnered with Federally Qualified Health Benefit Center, the ELICA Clinic, who comes out and offers services to other people who may not be VA eligible. I would like to go back to talking about our population. So as we talked about initially the stand downs were targeting principally homeless veterans, but I'd like to emphasize that the Placer Veteran Stand Down is open to families and to all service members. Last year, between 20 and 25% of our participants were homeless or people who stayed overnight, who might be borderline homeless, couch surfing, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But the vast majority of the folks who participate in the stand down are regular veterans who are coming to access the broad spectrum of services that we assemble in one place for a few days in the spring.
Now, since it is 3 days, is there facility for overnight accommodations for any of the
There are.
attendees?
There are. So as I mentioned, a percentage, about 20 to 25% of the participants are homeless or near homeless, and we provide them with cots, showers, 3 meals a day, so that they'll have somewhere to go and access their services. And if they have animals with them, we have veterinary services available. We have boarding services so they can get their medical care, get their dental care. So that's all taken care of for them.
Is there any other service that perhaps some of our viewers might know that is needed? That you have a wide variety already.
Oh, absolutely.
Is there some service that kind of fill the gap?
I think we pretty much cover with all the different services. We even have employers there if employers are actively looking to hire.
Okay.
So it's the full gamut and for the veterans and the families too. And then also too to talk about homelessness. So in the veteran population, most of our veterans aren't pushing a shopping cart. Our veterans are, like Dr. Mike said, they're couch surfing, or they're living out of their car, or they're on that verge. So those are the veterans we definitely want to be able to help so they don't get to that point, but to be able to provide these services, because some of them could just be one day short of literally being on the street or on the couch. So how can we help our veterans and their families?
Yeah, sometimes that's all of us, you're one.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah, they don't
absolutely. And then if you're
paycheck
dealing
away.
with post-traumatic stress, you're dealing with TBI, you're dealing with military sexual trauma, that just adds onto it. And also another thing to expand upon is the VA eligible is you don't have to be VA eligible to come to get for your health care, because sometimes you may not have it, but just don't let that be a deterrent, or don't let it be a deterrent if you don't know. Just come.
Absolutely.
That's
Come
it.
there,
Just come.
get your questions answered
Absolutely.
and find out for sure.
Absolutely.
Just to get-
And last year we had the VBA, the Veterans Benefits Administration, brought their outreach team. And Dr. Mike had mentioned about that. They had about 7 people there with their computers hooked up. We actually had people get some of their disability claims pushed through, disability claims started, getting ratings, all that done there. So it's, again, it's full service for our veterans.
Sounds wonderful. How can we've talked about all the partners and the sponsors and things like that. For viewers that might want to get involved, how can the community at large, what can they do?
We're happy to accept whatever anyone has to offer. So anyone who is interested in volunteering, we'll find a way for you to help out. So we have literally hundreds of volunteers who help us with this event. Folks who do the work beforehand, folks who set up, unpacking, assisting during the event, working in the kitchen, maintaining rosters, helping to pack things up afterwards, and of course, there are clinicians, anyone who has a special skill that would be of assistance. We're happy to have help. The best way to volunteer would be to go to our website, which is Placer Veterans, plural, veteransstanddown.org. And at the website, there's a contact us area to volunteer. Certainly, we recognize the constraints on everyone's time, and a lot of times folks won't be able to cut out a day, particularly in the middle of the week, to be able to help us out in person. But on our website, there's a conveniently located PayPal button where folks who can't maybe cut out the time can still make a contribution, and that'll come to our 501c3 through PayPal, so you can use your credit card or PayPal account.
So it'll be a deduction
Oh, absolutely.
and stuff
yeah.
like that, plus helping,
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
we have a list of our needs on the website. So it could be anything from toiletry items to socks to, and then we have the list on there, to paper towels. And also too, one of the best meals that you'll get there, you'll come to Placer Stand Down, you'll get fed breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Fantastic. And that's where we get volunteer organizations that actually volunteer their time, not only their time, but they raise funds to be able to pay for those meals to feed our veterans and our families. I know Thunder Valley came out last year and they brought their big catering truck and brought in, delicious barbecue, but also to the Lions Club, Knights of Columbus, other organizations to do that and volunteer their time in the kitchen. So it's whatever you have to give, and sometimes it may not be time, sometimes it's money. So let us know, and we can, like Dr. Mike said, we could find something for you to do.
well, that's why I was asking earlier about, what are some of the groups, people just come out and says, how can I help? That's a big incentive right there. What do you need me to do?
Absolutely.
So-
Another way people can help too is if you know somebody that served in the military and they need help, send them there in May. And also too, if people need services, we have here in Placer County the Veteran Service Office. So if it's something can't wait till May, get over to the Placer County Veteran Service Office as well.
And I believe John Melrose is
Yes,
still
John
in
Mills, yes, he is.
service,
Yep,
county
right there on
service.
Sunset.
Very
Yep.
good, very good. Okay, any final comments? Anything we haven't, I think we've covered just about everything here. This sounds like a wonderful program. I'm a veteran myself, so I'm, not that I need the service, but I might just come out
Well, you
and,
should just come out and just hang out, come out and talk. I mean, that's, we always and I always encourage others too that, well, I don't, I'm good, I don't need anything, but just come out and sit down and talk to your fellow brothers or sisters that have served. And sometimes that's all it takes, is just have someone else to listen.
and as we wrap up here, is the homeless veterans, how do you get them to the
We have
transportation?
We have our own super shuttle.
super shuttle? Very-
Our own, yes.
Okay.
We set up different pickup spots from Placer County, Sacramento County, so there's different areas.
Mhm.
Also, some other organizations have volunteered to bring over our homeless veterans, so we get them there. They get there.
They can get there and get back, and
It-
or hopefully will, get some services so they can get out of that particular lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. They can contact us either at the website, or we have a phone number that anybody can call, and we'll make arrangements to get them to the stand down.
Okay.
We partner very closely with local service organizations, gathering in local churches, and do outreach so that folks know that we're going to be there, and that they can connect with us and let us know how best to do that.
Yeah, we had Social Security comes, but a gentleman who was homeless needed some additional help. So one of our shuttle drivers took him to the Social Security office, waited for him, and brought him back.
Wow.
Because that's what we do. It's all about giving and helping. It can't say, no, we can't help you. No, we want to be able to help you and get you out of that circumstance.
How many veterans were there? How many total attendees did you have last year?
It's over 400 last year.
It was.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. Okay, well, on behalf of American Legion Post 169, I want to thank both of you for coming in and joining us. This is our inaugural program, so we're hoping to continue and have other programs on education, informing the public on veterans issues, and go from there. So
Yep.
please join us for our next presentation on the Roseville American Legion on the Air, where we'll share the history of the American Legion in Post 169. See you then.